What impact does sports in communities have on people's mental and physical health? An inquiry project, Grade 7, English Language Arts. Before we began this inquiry unit, my amazing and wonderful Grade 7 students completed a survey. I provided the students with a list of inquiry questions and had them vote on their favorite choice. This is the question that was voted on that would be the basis of our inquiry. Next, the students answered one more survey to help me determine student readiness and interest, since not everyone voted for this topic. This was to help me plan and make a list of the students who had no interest in the topic, so I could connect with them and offer an alternative choice. As a class, we talked about what we already know about the impact of sports. I added what the students said to our unit slides, which they had access to in D2L. Next, we watched a video about the benefits of sports for your body and brain. And then the students began the research process with a partner of their choice. Each day, we learned new things and new problems related to our topic as a class, before the students connected with their partner and continued with their research. The first problem we learned about was racism in sports. We started by talking about what we already know about racism in sports, and if any of the students had witnessed or experienced it. Then we watched a video about Indigenous communities experiencing racism in hockey, and I opened up the discussion to racism in all sports. As a class, we came up with a list of ways to be an ally, and the students also learned about note-taking and organizational strategies. The second problem we looked at was gender inequity in sports. I started with the question, do you think all genders have equal opportunities to play sports? I shared some of my own experiences with sports as a girl, and the students shared some gender inequality they have noticed. I added their contributions to our class slides, and then we watched a video about gender inclusivity in sports from the perspective of a transgender woman. The problem we looked at was socioeconomic barriers in sports. We watched some videos about what other people are doing to help with this problem, and the students had more time for researching with their partner. For each subtopic we explored, I provided research resources for the students in D2L. While they worked, the learning goals and task expectations for the day were visible on the smartboard. After we finished researching the benefits and the problems found in sports, the students began to decide what kind of project they would create.
Our sports team thing. Right now we're doing a racism in sports vlog, and then after that we'll move on to gender. Right now we're just making slides for positive things like sports is for fun, not for bullying, and other things. So it's just to raise awareness that a lot of people don't have fair sports in their lives. There some things like gender and racism are parts of things, and sometimes even not having the right equipment, so you can't play sports.
Slideshow, and the topics that we're doing are racism in sports and gender.
We're working on the sports inquiry project, and we're doing benefits in sports, gender equity in sports, and racism in sports.
We also learned about the history of sports because some of the students expressed an interest in learning about that. Then we reviewed our rubric and the students continued on working on their project.
Well, I think with how the recent kind of events around the world, with Black Lives Matter, more transgender athletes coming out, I think it's very important to show equality in sports. Women's Day, National Women's Day was a month ago. I think it's good to just show how we can progress in sports, because sports are a big part of a lot of people's lives, and I think it's good that we're showing how you can progress in there to make it as equal as possible, equal opportunities for everyone.
Well, I think this project is very important since it's good to realize that there's still much sexism and racism in sports, but us as Canadians just think we're better, but that's not true. And it's good to notice that we're not, and I think this project's really helpful since it helps you realize that.
I think it's important because it happens a lot in our world, so I feel like kids should learn about it now, so then when it happens in real life, we're not surprised about it or know what to do.
A lot of sports cost a lot of money to play with the gear that they need. Like football or hockey or any of those kinds of really lots of gear, it's really hard to
Also learning about the benefits of sports and how sports can be helpful to us.
Oh yeah, that. I knew it was that, but I didn't know.
Sports and how sports should be equal to everyone.
Sports influence the physical and mental development a lot in a really beneficial way. Your cognitive thinking will be more clear, and your muscle growth will be way better. And it's also really good because if you're doing a group sport specifically, then your problem-solving skills and your teamwork skills get developed at a really young age, and it's great to apply to other situations like school and work.
Some of the problems that people encounter when trying to get on teams or clubs is that they don't have enough money, or like there's like gender equality where some people aren't treated as fair, and then there's also racism in sports.
Great.
There's actually a lot of solutions, so you can start a unit drive. You can support people.
This project is important because it teaches us sort of the diversity in sports and what we can do to maybe help improve it or make it more inclusive to other people or races. It can also help us with understanding why sports are really important and how they can help us mentally and physically. And overall, it's just a really good learning experience for many people, maybe if they haven't had the opportunity to learn or do these sports.
Many benefits of sport. For example, it brings people from all around the world together so you can make new friends and you can learn new things with different people.
People have had to drop out of sports they played because of the discrimination they felt against them. Becoming an ally is a way to help stop this. There are lots of ways to become an ally, and some are simple and some take time and logic to make.
Bodies is able to lower our blood pressure, preventing heart disease and lowering risks of strokes.
Teach people about geology, science, and history, and valuable lessons. So video games make
benefits. Scientists have proven that sports not only benefit physical health but also mental health.
Sports also help improve sleep, which can drastically affect your mental health.
The required amount of exercise per day helps avoid possible illness.
All right, so what have you learned from your research?
So much that sports. Oh, you're filming? That's why that's Say, I'm so happy that Miss Claremont's here. Will you please?
There's no ceiling when you are near me.